Yo, what is going on? What is going on? What is going on? Happy Tuesday. I hope all you guys got some rest. CM Punk had what I think was a fabulous promo on Raw. We're going to get into every detail. I'm going to be rewatching the segment. Obviously, I can't showcase it, but I could share some screenshots. I can pause the video. I will be checking it out over on my console, and I will be watching it alongside the chat box. This is the video I have pulled up. If you guys want to watch it for yourself, you can. WWE posted this on their official page yesterday, and just to spice things up and get the conversation going, they already have 1.4 million views in just 15 hours. And keep in mind, this is their official YouTube channel. They also posted, clips across other social media platforms. They also posted clips on other channels that they have. And they even posted shorts in relation to the moment on their actual YouTube page. So what I'm trying to say here is that it's 1.4 million here, as you see right there on the screen, and it's millions and millions and thousands and just so much more across the board everywhere. Respect. Let's go. Look at Respect starting off the stream with a $2 down now. Thank you, Respect. That was awesome. Thank you. Welcome to the channel, everyone. Welcome to today's stream. We have a lot to go over. We're going to continue to celebrate CM Punk's return to WWE during this week. We're going to be playing WWE 13. All right, that's one of the games he was heavily featured in. He starred on the cover, as you see right here. So we're going to be playing WWE 13 this week. We got tons of podcasts going down, tons of breakdowns. We're going to be going over a lot of the feedback that we've seen online as well. So I promise, man, we're going to celebrate CM Punk's epic return the right way. And, I'm going to try my best to not be biased, okay? I'm going to try my best to stick to the important notes that I feel like is worth mentioning and discussing, and I'm all ears to whatever you guys may have in mind in terms of what's important to you. I do want to go over some of the reactions from online, right? I want to go over some of the things that people have been tweeting and commenting about. Look at Respect, man. Pulled up like the people's champ. I see you, Respect. Thank you so much, man. Kicking off the stream right with a little dono, man. I'm going to go to McDonald's and get me a little McDouble with that. So, first things first, happy Tuesday, right? Happy Tuesday. Welcome back. All right. If you guys didn't watch Raw last night, CM Punk cut a short promo to end the night. A lot of people are upset because they promoted him throughout the entire show, and they wanted us to hold on and stick around for the entire show, and they had him come out at the very end. Not only did he come out at the very end, but he had just a small portion of the overall show. Because at the end of the day, it's Monday Night Raw. It's not CM Punk Raw, right? And at the end of the day, it was about promoting his return, hyping it up, and giving the spotlight that everyone else deserved. Like the promo, even if it was a big paint by numbers, the backlash about it is kind of jarring. Oh, yeah. Trust me, MGM. I'm going to need you to stick around because you always bring up some good points, very valid to the conversations we have on here. And I want to have your insight side by side, some of the things that I'll be talking about. Bobby says the promo was the icebreaker needed. Everything doesn't have to blow the roof off, but effective. Good point, Bobby. You know exactly what we're going to be talking about here. Carter says, the wise man. What's up, Respect? How you doing? Lex, I found you off of starting the hype for WWE 22. Very soon should be 2K24 news. Levi, 2K24 is around the corner, man. I'm hoping that this year I don't get the strikes that I got last year, so we could tear it down and get to 20,000 subscribers and beyond and blow it up, man. He's home, Bill. He really is home. And I actually got this. This is Erica's. When Erica sees that I drink it, she's probably gonna say something. I'll have to replace it and get her a new one. But we wanted to try this energy drink together, and I opened it now just because I wanted to get a little extra fuel for the stream. What's going on, Ace? It's called Big Game Energy Cotton Candy. I like cotton candy, and I'm not really too much of a fan of these energy drinks, but it is 0 sugar. It doesn't mean it's healthy. It doesn't mean it's good for you, but that's what I'm gonna be drinking throughout this stream to get hyped up and excited to go over some of the CM Punk stuff. So cheers to everyone. You guys can call me CM Purge. What up, Purge? So let's start off with the jarring feedback. All right, let's start off with what MGM brought up there. The feedback has been jarring, and I know it's a little out of order with the content that I said I was going to go over here. Stick around shortly. We will be watching the segment side by side. I won't be showing it, but I will be showing you little screenshots and tidbits here and there just to keep you engaged with what I'm watching. And I'm going to go phrase by phrase and decipher it from my point of view. Now, keep in mind, guys, this will be my point of view. This has nothing to do with the reality of what the true meaning is behind it. I'm not Phil Brooks. I am not Triple H. I am not anyone that produced that segment. I'm going to be playing 13 throughout the week. Not on this stream, probably. We won't get to it because we have a lot to uncover. But I'm definitely going to be celebrating CM Punk this week with his WWE cover debut gameplay from 2013. Gotta run some errands. Quick little stop in. Have a good stream, Lex. I'll catch y'all. All right, respect. I'll see you on the next one, man. What up, Straight Edge? All right, so let's go over some of the I'm not gonna shout out anyone from Twitter that's hating. I'm not gonna really put any names out there. I'm just gonna kind of bundle up what I've seen. If you guys want to share anything, you can, okay? Some people expect him to announce that he was in the Royal Rumble and or announce his next opponent. I would just say this is a TV show and Triple H is not going to spoon feed the audience in one go. There you go. Let me see what he says. Oh no, I really hope they don't have him do this for the next few weeks only to have Seth come out and say something like this isn't the real Punk and then Punk turns heel. I really hope they don't do this, and this is the most predictable thing. All right, so I'm getting some different comments. I'm going to go over some of the things that I posted on Twitter, okay? Let me pull it up here. I posted a thread on Twitter, and it's going to start off the conversation that we're going to have here. So let me actually pull it up real quick, the thread that I posted on Twitter. All right, so let me put record here. So we went on Twitter today after all the comments that I read, and I decided to post a thread. I usually don't write things like this, and I actually have. It shows 8,200 views. That's probably my most viewed tweet. I don't really comment on these things all the time. I usually leave feedback on other posts, but I don't really post it myself. But I felt like doing it today. And there's a few things that I added here. There's 3 different posts. Again, I'm not going to really highlight anyone's reply or any of the negative feedback. I'm just going to generalize that feedback. So this is what I said. This is what I had to say. Most of the people upset about CM Punk's promo, or should I say PG Punk, which was trending, as they're calling him, are the ones that haven't paid attention to how Triple H and company tell stories. They also had this false expectation that he'd tear down AEW and sound like Bitter Betty, as if that makes him cool. Now, I'm going to add to that since we're here live on stream. I know that a lot of people wanted him to say that he's going to be in the Royal Rumble. Look, it's November, guys. Obviously, he's going to be in the Royal Rumble, but to think that he has to announce and for us to be spoon-fed that he's announcing he's in the Rumble in November like Cody Rhodes did. Like, let Cody Rhodes have his moment. He already announced he's in the Rumble already because there's no pay-per-view in December, and they're turning gears towards Royal Rumble. There's no need to rush into that just yet. All right, so if you were expecting the Royal Rumble announcement, I don't know. If you were expecting for him to attack directly Seth Rollins right away, Seth Rollins is busy right now. What's the point of attacking Seth Rollins right away when he's busy with Jey Uso, with Drew McIntyre, with Sami Zayn, and others? Let this cook. Let it build up. So let's go on to the next post in that same thread. I put, if you pay attention to anything WWE programming has offered since Triple H has been in control, it's all been long-term storytelling over everything, which adds to my point. Triple H has no pay-per-view in December and Royal Rumble happening at the end of January. How is he going to keep the audience engaged from here to then with CM Punk's return? By giving us tidbits and build-ups and planting seeds along the way. In my opinion, that's how it should be done. This CM Punk promo was 100% just the beginning of everything that's to come in this CM Punk run, which I think is essentially his finale in the pro wrestling world. All right, I'm adding that to the context of my tweet. A little bit of Phil mixed in with Punk, loaded with subtle shots, laying the foundation. He took some shots. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. A wise man once told me I had to leave to get everything I wanted out of this company. And I did. Now I'm back. And he also quoted the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. So those are some subtle moments in that promo, which I'll dig deeper in a later segment. And then I also put the best in the world gif here, or GIF, should I say. On top of all of that, truth of the matter is this, and this is the key point. This is the key point that a lot of people are missing out on. On top of all of that, truth of the matter is this. For many people, this is CM Punk's return to wrestling after being gone for 10 years. The average WWE fan doesn't even watch or know about AEW. Cold, hard truth there. I'm not taking a shot. That's just the reality of this. Buckle up. That's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. That's the reality of the situation. A lot of people are not aware that AEW is a thing. The viewers of the WWE universe, not everyone watches AEW. So for you to expect that he's going to directly address that whole scenario and the way it played out and break down why he's back into detail and spoon feed you why he's gonna go after Seth Rollins and all this other crap on his first day back is just naive. Now, I know that even though the average fan doesn't know or watch AEW, I know there's a lot of smart marks like myself and a lot of you guys out there that know about AEW, that follow AEW, and are fully aware of the entire situation that CM Punk was involved in. But you gotta understand, this is all about mainstream audience with the added pro wrestling diehard community within all of that. They are trying to do content for everyone. So CM Punk kind of needs to reintroduce himself to the universe within the WWE bubble. Once he establishes that character and that return to form, if you will, then we'll start to see the, best in the world in bigger dosages. But for right now, that, 6-minute promo, 5-minute promo, whatever it was on Raw, it was just the starting point. It was just to plant the seed. It was just the setup. This feedback that the internet, the community, the internet wrestling community is throwing. Oh, this was horrible. Oh, PG Phil or MJF was right. Look, he was right about a lot of things in AEW. And MJF, John Moxley, and a lot of these other guys were right about a lot of things too. It goes both ways. It's a double-edged sword. especially when you want to talk from the heart like that, when you want to talk about the real life situation stuff, which is great. It blurs the lines, but it goes both ways. It really does. So the reaction that the diehards, the big, smart marks that are just, they could book a show better than anyone, right? Those guys are bashing CM Punk for basically doing a lot of the same thing that he did while he was in AEW. And calling him PG Punk like that's a knock on him is just flat out hilarious and hypocritical as a fan, because CM Punk's prime years and his best promos came in during the PG era. So PG Punk is the definitive version of CM Punk. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that's the real CM Punk. So I don't get this two-face energy going on. Straight Edge sent me a tweet of someone saying, I miss great football game for this dumb, Monday Night Raw stuff. Like, it's just laughable. And a lot of people, regardless of what CM Punk had to say, a lot of people that bashed and trashed and hated him for going to AEW or for leaving AEW or for getting fired or for causing drama or for the backstage issues, for picking sides, those people were always going to trash and bash whatever he had to say, even if it was a 20-minute monologue and he was given the red carpet. That's just a fact of life. Let's be real here. Let's quote LA Knight for a second. That's just a fact of life. So take everything you hear and read with a grain of salt right now. We don't even know, where this is headed. Have a little patience. It's also funny because the same guys saying he should shoot on AEW are the same people who are mad at him shooting in his last year in AEW. Exactly. Thank you, MGM. Exactly. I'll be the first to say I hate when everyone joins a company, insert AEW, because it happened mostly in AEW. I hate when everyone would join AEW and bash WWE like if that was cool. Like, come on. Do you really think it would have been dope for him to grab the WWE mic and say, oh yeah, I was just down the street at my previous employer and, there was a bunch of sissies backstage. Like, come on. Really? CM Punk being on WWE TV is hell freezing over all on its own without him saying a word. It's a mic drop situation because at the end of the day, we were never supposed to get this. If it wasn't for Jack Perry and all the bullshit that went on backstage, we were never going to see CM Punk in WWE again. And because of one thing or another, it led to this. VJ says, Lex, maybe Punk was part of the TV 14 era for maybe a year, then it went PG. Punk has been in the PG era for most of his WWE career. For sure. His biggest years in WWE was during the PG era. So it's just laughable. It's laughable. And to say that there's not enough content within that promo is just laughable. So, look, guys, I know a lot of you out there that are hating on CM Punk's promo on Raw got your panties caught up in a bunch, right? You guys are all, going haywire. I honestly think you need a reality check. Look at yourself in the mirror, because I get being disappointed with the promo not being longer. I get being disappointed with the fact that, there wasn't enough context for you. But to flat out say that it was trash, PG Punk, and try to get it trending and say all this nonsense for views and clicks and all that. I mean, exactly, Woke. What did you expect? Pipe bomb number 2? No. He came out there just to say he was home, to set it up for the big promo, for the big moment that is yet to come. This is just the first page in chapter 1 for CM Punk being back in WWE. Get over it. That's just a reality of it. Hold on, let me take off the display here, put this back. There we go. That's just a reality of it. So tell that to JD. He was bashing about the promo being trash for 1 hour. What up, ref? Well, we're going to break down the promo here live. We're going to break down the promo here live. That's what we're going to do. All right? I'm going to be watching it here side by side. And I'm going to be breaking it down, and I'm going to again put my thoughts into the world, and I want to break down each moment text by text, because I'm not going to paraphrase. I'm not going to sit here and make bullshit up. I'm going to literally go word for word and give you my opinion and my logic. And again, it's not that I'm 100% right. I don't work for WWE. I didn't sit down with Phil Brooks backstage, right? And cooked up this promo and this whole return stuff. I didn't do that. So I can't speak for him. But I could analyze what the hell he was talking about, especially having watched wrestling for so long. Just give it a chance. That's all I want to say. CM Punk Raw return promo bashed by the internet. My thoughts. That's the name of the video for the segment we just had. Boom. That video is going to be going up shortly for anyone that missed it on the stream. And we're going to be breaking down his promo right now. Again, guys, I can't share the promo with you guys, unfortunately, in real time. I wish I could. I wish I could put it side by side. And I'm not going to risk getting copywritten, but we are going to go over the promo for sure. Thanks, Adam Page and Jack Perry. CM Punk is home. Exactly. What up? Yeah, I heard people saying Punk's ass kissing by saying home. Yeah, we're gonna break it down. We're gonna break it down right here, right now. So let's get to it. I'll be looking at the chat every so often, but just know that I'm gonna try to get through the promo here as best as I could, and I want to see what you guys have to say too. I want you guys to add to what we're talking about here on theme. Nate says this promo sucked. No AEW digs. If that's what it took to make a good promo, then you were always going to be disappointed, because it's not the way WWE handles business. And I don't think CM Punk wanted to go out there being a bitter Betty, talking that shit about AEW and doing what everyone does in AEW. Period. Exactly, Brian. Everyone wants to hate. And you know what's funny? Look, what up, Safe? When it comes to the wrestling community and everyone thinking they could book shit better, and everyone thinking they could write better, and everybody thinking they know better, truth of the matter is this. A lot of people that share these opinions either look at things on the surface or had this unrealistic level of expectation, and because their expectation wasn't met, it automatically sucks. All right? So let's go over, let me skip ahead here in the promo. And let me make sure you guys can't hear so I don't get copyrighted. All right, let me lower. All right, there. Cool. It wasn't scripted, bro. That's not... Look, first and foremost, just because some promos sound like a shoot doesn't mean that they're not scripted. There's bullet points to promos, bro. Even The Rock's best promos have had bullet points. So, everyone... That's another thing that I wanted to address. MGM, damn, I'm not blaming you for it, because I thought, we would have talked about that too, especially in the last segment. A lot of people are saying, oh, this is just corporate CM Punk. Oh, this is scripted nonsense. It's like, dog, going out there and not having a game plan on what you want to talk about and what you want to say to further a storyline is exactly why half of the promos in AEW sometimes land flat, because they have no sense of direction and they're just saying a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo and they're running in circles. The only line I liked was nothing. That's your point of view, my guy. That's your point of view. Prepare to be disappointed because I actually enjoyed it. I like having to break these things down. I don't care if they didn't spoon feed me. I didn't care if they, you know what I'm saying? You can tell it wasn't scripted. He paused for a little bit. He did, of course, and he recalibrated and repeated lines just like Randy Orton. You think Randy Orton went out there and just, it's not that it was all scripted, guys. There's bullet points and things he wants to talk about. They're not going to send him out there and not know what he wants to say. They want to understand where he's headed. I listened to JD. All right, you said everything that sums it up. A lot of people here come at me and tell me that they listen to him, and he is part of the issue here, guys. He's spreading all this negativity for what? What was so bad about CM Punk's promo? Give me a break. People acting like the pipe bomb wasn't scripted. Exactly. That shit's hilarious. That shit's hilarious. So let's break down the CM Punk promo, man. Like I said, I'm going to be watching it here. You see me watching it. We're going to cut in and out of it. I can't put everything on here, but we're going to react live together again. And I'm going to pause it, and we're going to go over the lines. So here we go. The CM Punk promo is now playing, and we're watching it in real time. And I'm going to pause it and break it down. All right. He says, it looks like hell froze over. Saif with the $10 dono. Thank you so much. In the middle of this segment, bro, you're goated. Shout out to my boy Saif. So he said, it looks like hell froze over. What is he talking about exactly? He is actually referring to the tweet that Triple H posted Saturday night when he put out a picture of him pointing at CM Punk and CM Punk pointing back at him. At the end of the day, we were never supposed to get CM Punk in a WWE ring ever. By the way, look at Saif walking down the ramp like the people's champ. Salute to you, my boy, with the $10-roo. So, it looks like hell froze over. The fact that he's standing in the middle of the ring. Look at him. Like, dude, CM Punk on Monday Night Raw. And that's really the starting point, right? That on its own is, it's a magical moment. This was never the intention. This was never the intention at all. This is me standing in a WWE ring on Monday Night Raw with a live microphone in my hand. So then he goes and drops, you know, the whole NHL stuff because he's a big Blackhawks fan and he's getting the little reaction from the crowd. So, guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more wrestling content. Sorry, I had to plug it in. But yeah, look, he talks about, I gotta be me. And he says, I gotta be me. And lately, I've been feeling a little more like myself. Okay? Why would he say that? Well, he obviously didn't feel like himself in AEW. He obviously got fired from AEW. He lost sight of things and got clouded and went in and had issues with so many people backstage and stood up for himself. Could have gone about it in a different way for sure, but at the end of the day, he lost himself. And he went on to say that he's been feeling a lot more like himself since Saturday. So I think he's being honest here that since Saturday, he's been trying to come up with the words and the language to describe his emotions and explain to everyone how he's feeling about it. That's obvious. This is nursery rhyming 101. This is basic promos 101. 2 words. 2 words. And the 2 words were what, guys? If you remember the promo, I'm going to tell you without even seeing it. I have it paused right here so you guys see I'm not lying. The 2 words that he said were that he's changed and that he's home. He's changed because he knows better. What do you mean he's changed? He just got fired. What do you mean he's home? Guys, his intention behind mentioning that he's changed is literally him understanding that as much as he didn't want to be in WWE, as much as he hated WWE for everything that transpired that led to him leaving and joining AEW 7 or 8 years later, he realized while being in AEW that he is a big deal, like a John Cena, like an Undertaker. Lex, what do you mean? That's what I take away from it. You know why he realized this? Because he was working in an unprofessional environment, right? Where he wasn't respected. And this is a guy who has literally done it all in the wrestling world, in the indies, for $5, $10, $20 a night, to the big time at WrestleMania, to holding multiple WWE titles, to main eventing multiple pay-per-views, and being the poster child on many shows. He is a legend and commands that respect, yet backstage in AEW, they didn't give it to him. Why? Because he's a legend in WWE, not AEW. So not everyone in AEW had to play his game. Not everyone in AEW had to ultimately like CM Punk. You get what I'm saying here? And he realized that. He realized that at the end of the day, being a pro, being a businessman, that mindset can work for him and give him another chance at being not in AEW, but WWE. It took him being in AEW for him to change, for him to get to this moment in time. And keep in mind, folks, let me add this to this breakdown segment. CM Punk was anti-WWE even while being in WWE. He was always fighting the system, which is what made him who he became. He went to AEW and he was still fighting that ghost. He was still bitter and bashing, and he was happy to be in AEW. He was happy trying to dethrone WWE from whatever goal they had in mind. He wanted to upstage as much as he could within AEW. He wanted to make some noise. He wanted to help AEW achieve the unachievable. So listen to this part that I'm about to say. Listen to what I'm lining up here. How the hell is a guy that was so anti-WWE, that was so anti-Vince McMahon, that was so anti-everything in the WWE format, and wanting to see WWE fail, flip, and flop, how is that same guy standing in a Monday Night Raw arena saying he's home? How is that same guy standing in the ring saying that he's changed? Listen to what he's saying. That turned this 5-minute promo and took it to the next level. For CM Punk, Phil Brooks, out of all people in the world, to go out there on live TV and admit that he's changed and he's home while being in a WWE ring, that is mind-blowing all on its own. Just him saying those two things, that is more than enough. How much more do you need for them to spoon feed you? I get that Monday Night Raw is a little long. It's 3 hours. We waited 3 hours just to hear CM Punk say, I've changed and I'm home. I get that part. You could be disappointed that it was a little too short. I never said you couldn't feel disappointed with the length, but to say that it was a bad promo, to say that there was no context, to say that there was no direction, you're wrong. Straight up. Whether you love or hate CM Punk, you're wrong. That is your opinion. The fact of the matter is this. There was plenty of shots taken here and references to guys like Paul Heyman, guys like Dusty Rhodes. Just him showing up, Carter, exactly. Just him showing up. So let's get back to this. At this particular moment in the promo, he's mentioning how there's two words that he would use to describe how he feels since Saturday, and it's I've changed, and obviously he's home. So let's hear him out. He even said that he was a little bit scared of how real, how this is an actual feeling. He said, I'm a little bit scared. That's Phil Brooks talking. That's him being genuine. I'm a little bit scared about how I feel. Imagine CM Punk going out there and admitting that shit. Imagine. And he also admitted it's a little bit corny. It's a little bit cheesy. He's very well aware that not everyone in the wrestling world is going to take this promo as the CM Punk that we want to see. So he's already admitting it. It's not going to sound like CM Punk, but I've changed. Once upon a time, an American Dream taught me. Listen, an American Dream, that's Dusty Rhodes. Does he need to mention Dusty Rhodes by name for you to know that he's the American Dream? As long as you speak from the heart, you can't go wrong because it's the truth. He said, and this is the truth. I'm home. Holy crap. CM Punk looking at the camera. Look at this shot right here. Looking at the camera and admitting to the world, out of all places in WWE, CM Punk admits he's home. Holy hell. Holy hell, he's home. That is... And at that point, let me see where I'm at. I'm 3 minutes and 31 seconds into this 8-minute segment. 8 minutes and 21 seconds. This is the entire segment on WWE's YouTube page. Just look at the context behind everything he has mentioned. He's acknowledging his past. He's acknowledging his mistakes. He's acknowledging, how unsure he was about all of this. This is a very human CM Punk. This is crazy to me. So let's listen on. He lets the crowd soak it in. Everyone is going crazy. He's letting everyone kind of sit there with those words. And he's still soaking it in, man. He's just there standing, soaking it in. And everybody's saying, welcome back. CM Punk. I've come back to this familiar place. I didn't know how. He said, I came back to this familiar place. I didn't know how I would react, and I didn't know how it would go. He said, this has made me feel like my old self, because this is where I belong. This is the image right here. I pause it when he says, this is where I belong. And he stares straight into the camera, straight into the audience at home. For a long time, CM Punk said he didn't belong in WWE. For a long time, CM Punk, bashed and trashed and said so many things that pissed off a lot of people. That's why this is such a monumental moment. Because everything that he said and everything he hated is ultimately everything he became. In a lot of ways, like I said earlier in this video, in this segment, in this stream, he became the franchise player. He became the brand. He wasn't just the voice of the voiceless. Lex, with Punk being in WWE, could help take it up a corner and to a higher level? Of course. Nate is just hating. I'm just letting Nate go off. He could let it all out. It's okay. The crowd is... This is home. I've been gone for 10 years. I've been gone for 10 years and you people never forgot me, even when I wanted to forget me. And look at him staring into the crowd. Right there, overlooking his time in AEW, the last few years in AEW, and directly speaking to the WWE Universe. And this is exactly why I said what I said in my tweet. You got to understand that the average fan that watches WWE, say what you want, say that they don't know pro wrestling, say that it doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter what you have to say about it. But truth of the matter is this. A lot of the WWE audience, they're either unaware about AEW, they don't know who's in AEW, and they don't care. They don't care. As big as... Look at how massive CM Punk's return to WWE was. Over 71 million views across the WWE channels on social media, and it was the most social moment in wrestling history. Why wasn't that the case when he jumped into AEW? Because the reach was just not there. So all those people and everyone around the globe that tuned in, that heard, that saw CM Punk's return, right? A lot of those people are unaware about AEW. So him referencing AEW, it just wouldn't make much sense for that to be his go-to and his return promo. So let's move on here. Let's move on to the next bit. That's powerful. You are all powerful. He's giving the fans the cheesy, pondering shit. A bunch of continents, countless countries. He's obviously referencing their Wembley, right? Because he went overseas and wrestled in London and the crowd went crazy. All right. This is him, turning up on the energy here, turning it up a notch. Arenas all over the world. People watching at home, people in the building. Never stop chanting my name. Boom. The crowd goes, CM Punk, CM Punk. Crowd loving it, everyone eating it up. Obviously, he's pandering and going crazy, but he did that in AEW. We knew that if he was going to be the good guy, that was the first order of business. That was the first thing he was going to have to do. That was some of the first things he was going to have to mention. Come on, he just had to. The voiceless found their voice. I couldn't be more proud of you. I heard you. That's why I'm back, because I love you guys. He's admitting it. He's admitting it. He said, I missed you guys, and I wish I had never left. He said, I wish I could say that I never had to leave. Once upon a time, a wise man told me, in order for you to get everything you need out of this place, you have to leave and come back. Who's he talking about there? Paul Heyman, obviously. He's talking about Paul Heyman. In order for him to get everything, he needed to leave and come back. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. He didn't want to be there. It's not good to work in a place you don't want to be at. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. For him to come to terms, for him to realize, for him to change, all these things, needed to ultimately happen. And he's learned from it, bro. That's the context. You guys could say his promo was mid, mild, whatever you want, just because it was a 5-minute, like I mentioned before, it's a little bit of Phil and a little bit of CM Punk sprinkled in there, and me writing the fans and all that. Cheesy, corny. He admitted to that already. You're not saying anything he didn't know. You're not saying anything he didn't expect from you guys. He already knew, the hardcore audience was going to say some shit like that. He didn't bury anyone. Yeah, that's because you need everything spoon-fed for you to see that. And we're going to get to that point in just a second here. So let's move on. Hate to say the wise man was right. Owning up to Paul Heyman. Hold on. Let me back up there. Hate to say the wise man was right. That's why I'm back to get everything I need out of this place. I'm back for you because you are home. So what is he saying there? What is he admitting to the fans? It's not just that WWE is home and he's a WWE lifer and he's just a cornball. Guys, when he's talking about home, he's talking about ultimately being with the fans, being able to connect with the fans, being able to ultimately be there live in person. That's what this promo was all about. Acknowledgement. He's acknowledging everything here. What else did you want from him in his first promo back? He needed to reintroduce himself. He didn't attack AEW. All right. So the crowd is loving it, obviously. Saturday night was an amazing moment. Monday night is an amazing moment. Trying to have the words to explain how it feels. It's been nothing but love in front and behind the camera. Feels like a family reunion. Everyone back there is happy to see me. It's all smiles. A few people kiss me on the mouth. Welcome back. Welcome home. We've missed you. We're happy to see you. How's AJ? I'm here to tell you, AJ is fabulous and she sends her regards. A little name drop. So you get a little Easter egg there. Talking about how everyone has welcomed him back. And he's obviously then leading up to the Seth Rollins stuff and whoever else has a problem with CM Punk being back. So he gives you the little Easter egg. He name drops AJ, which everyone has been like clamoring for. Everyone has been dying to hear about her. He mentions her. Again, guys, this is a reintroduction into the WWE system. Obviously, people know who he is. Obviously, they were in Chicago. They're now in Tennessee. These are wrestling towns. For sure, people are aware, that this is CM Punk. I'm not saying that people are blind to the fact that this guy is a wrestling legend, but his whereabouts, AEW, all that stuff, not so much. Welcoming me back with open arms. So and he smiles. Well, almost everybody. Ain't that some shit? Some people are afraid. And this is where he's talking about everyone else, by the way. You guys wanted him to address the drama. You guys wanted him to feed into the moment. You guys wanted him to talk about all that shit. Well, here he is. Not everyone. Some people are afraid. They're afraid of the truth. They're afraid of what they don't understand, but I understand. Everything I've ever wanted has always been here. The competition is here. Week in and week out. People here compete to be the best in the world. But the best in the world hasn't been here for almost 10 years. And then he stares at the mic. So again, generalizing the unhappy people, generalizing the people backstage, and then talking about him being the best, bringing in everyone into the fold. I understand being afraid. They're afraid that I just set the bar to an unattainable level. They're afraid that I got that the brass ring is in my back pocket. Imagine, guys. Hold on, because I see the comment. You guys keep talking about JD is great. JD is a shitty YouTuber. I'm not going to disrespect JD. Respect to any wrestling content creator out there. Everyone doing this. You guys name drop him here all the time. Respect, you know, at the end of the day, if that's his take, that's his take. I've said whatever I've said before. It is what it is. I don't care about that. We're covering the segment here. Listen to what I'm talking about. Give feedback based on what we're talking about here. Name dropping another person's opinion doesn't make you better, smarter, or anything like that. You just sound ridiculous, all right? We're here talking about the promo, and you're just meat writing other YouTubers. Let's talk about CM Punk and our point of view on how we feel about it, not someone else's point of view. You don't have to come in here and spread some freaking point of view from someone else's mindset. Speak your own truth. So here he goes, talking about the brass ring being in his back pocket. Obviously, that's a Vince McMahon reference. Obviously, that's a Cody Rhodes reference. Obviously, that has been talked about plenty in AEW. There's actually a ladder match in AEW with a giant brass ring, poking fun at the whole idea. And he's talking about him having it in the back pocket. They can't grab it. They're afraid that the most dangerous and controversial feared man in this Hold on, let me pause it. They're afraid that the most controversial and feared man in this industry has just walked in through the front door at that. And there's nothing that they can do about it. Stairs. He said some people are just afraid that they're going to have to wake up tomorrow morning realizing that their best efforts at being the best in the world in this ring, on this mic, in the commentary. Then he goes and drops the microphone in the commentary. Isn't just false, but it's a lie. The best in the world is back. The best in the world is standing in the middle of the ring, live in living color on Monday night. His name is CM Punk. Look at that. Look at what he says. I'm back. I'm back. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. And then does the little lip victory lap. He did the victory lap mocking the Young Bucks, mocking AEW, having the last laugh. Come on, what more do you want? What more do you want from the guy? In his return promo, this is a guy who's been gone for a decade. He dropped just enough references historically, right? The Dusty stuff like I mentioned earlier, the Paul Heyman stuff like I mentioned earlier. He drops how some people are not happy to see him. He talked about he's the best in the world. Not just WWE. At the end of the day, man, say whatever you want. Oh, it's a WWE stooge promo. It's a WWE scripted promo. Oh, this is bad. He's being restrained. PG Punk. Guys, Royal Rumble isn't till late January. We're still in November. Today is November 28th. Monday Night Raw was the 27th. We still have a couple days left in November. We still have all of December and majority of January before the next pay-per-view, before the big pay-per-view known as Royal Rumble. Why are they going to give CM Punk a live microphone for 30 minutes when they could give you just enough and leave you wanting more? When Bray Wyatt came back, rest in peace, the late, great Bray Wyatt. his promo felt a little directionless, but it wasn't a whole lot of context either. And CM Punk referring to WWE as home, they knew what they were doing with that. They knew that this would be another conversation starter, and Triple H said it at the press conference. The thing about CM Punk is that whether you love him or hate him, he's a conversation starter. This guy is on his final run in pro wrestling. If you love CM Punk, enjoy it. If you hate him, well, strap up because you're going to get a lot more of him. So earlier in the night, Seth Rollins addressed the CM Punk stuff lightly. They both planted their seeds. CM Punk and Seth Rollins did their job. Seth Rollins is worrying about Jey Uso next week on Raw and Drew McIntyre in the horizon as well again. And CM Punk might come after that. And we'll see where it goes. But all I can say is this. There was a lot to unpack from that 5-minute segment. To say that it was garbage, to say that it was scripted nonsense, to say that it was PG Punk is just hilarious. You're being a hypocrite. A lot of his promos in AEW was a lot of the same shit too. And people were writing it. When CM Punk finally locks in on a target, that's when he'll be at his best. His best is yet to come. He reestablished his character. He reestablished himself in the WWE universe. And this is a taste of things to come. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Cool. But he ain't going nowhere. Money's looking good. And if you wanted your AEW shot, he did the victory lap. He said, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. What else do you want? Hit me up in the comments. I know you guys are livid, but I had to do a breakdown and share my views. There's a lot more to unpack than you guys are making it seem. You're acting like he just came out there, said I'm home and dipped. And let's be honest, Monday Night Raw was pretty good with all the other action they had going on. A lot of people were crying about Randy Orton getting overshadowed. Now they're crying about CM Punk not getting enough time. What's it going to be, bro? Pick a side. It's always the same baloney. People complaining just to complain and pushing these false narratives. Ain't that some shit? It's always the same thing. CM Punk is taking time from everyone else. CM, come on, bro. Oh, yeah, now he's going to steal the spotlight from such and such. Oh, yeah, now. So they plan this show that's really fulfilling and gives the spotlight to everyone on the card, even women's wrestling. But now they're garbage for doing that? Oh, my God. Yeah, right. You just want to talk just to talk. I'm not saying it's the best promo ever. I'm not saying I loved it from beginning to end. I don't like when Phil Brooks goes off and starts, pandering to the fans and doing all that meat writing. But again, it's a reintroduction to the WWE universe after being gone for 10 freaking years. I just find it so hilarious. The community is just super, super funny, man. This is a very funny community. He was there to reintroduce himself and pop a rating following the buzz after his return. People forget that caters to interesting, not WWE. I'm reading some comments from people here. I was just waiting to see what else you guys had to say. Punk promo was vanilla. You mean vanilla, not vanilla. It was. Dom sold his ass off for Orton. Plus, it showed how much WWE trusts Dom in the ring, putting him in the main event. Yep. Lex, I was listening to Busted Open Radio today, and they broke down CM Punk's promo almost like the way you did. And what did they say, VJ? What did they say? I do want to see what they're saying, so by all means, I'm all ears. That's why I was waiting. I was waiting to see what you guys were going to say. People not very usy? For sure. What up, Omar? But yeah, the promo did what it needed to do. Reintroduce him and make it clear he's back. Just the first building block. Exactly. That's all it was supposed to be. The way you use a figure like CM Punk in a moment like this in time is to, help. It's to help the other talent on the roster too. It's about elevating everyone. You know how hyped up everyone else must be getting all this extra attention? You know how smart it was for WWE to put Dominic Mysterio in that main event with Randy Orton? So everyone that was waiting to watch CM Punk watched his match. Can't wait to see who his first opponent is going to be. Yep. How do you think Punk's contract will be? Will he be at the next Raw and have matches? I think he's going to be at a couple Raws. I think his contract is going to be a lot like what Edge had before. He's going to come in and he's going to do back-to-back shows and a couple pay-per-views, and then he'll kind of go away for a while. And then he'll come back and things like that. I don't think he's going to be a full-time wrestler. I think they're going to utilize him as like a plug-and-play scenario. A lot like Edge was. Guys, we're 4 likes away from 20, by the way. We're 4 likes away from 20. The celebration continues. We're celebrating CM Punk returning home, returning to WWE. I'm ecstatic about it. I'm happy he's back. I'm enjoying this. I'm going to continue to enjoy it. And we're going to continue to, celebrate the return of CM Punk. We're going to be playing WWE 13 later this week, on a different stream, which he graced the cover of this game. We're going to continue to talk about everything CM Punk, and we're going to see the reception, how it evolves online. Right now, a lot more positive than negative. I've read online that people backstage at WWE are definitely happy to have him back on the roster. A lot of people have had conversations with him and feel his positive energy. So, it seems like we're standing on the good side of history right now. I wanted him back in WWE for sure, but it does suck that his time in AEW ended the way it did. It ended the way it did. One of best covers ever, definitely. Lex, imagine when Melo gets called up to the main roster, Punk can make Melo an even bigger star. Oh yeah, everyone. So I wanted to ask you, VJ, what was Bully said he would have done the sports team heat? He would have done the sports team heat, like talking about the sports team, like talking. Well, he did kind of did drop it. AEW did drop the bag for sure. It looks like CM Punk was never the problem. AEW tried to kill his legacy. I think that CM Punk was part of the problem in terms of how he handled things. I think it's all baloney. Like right now, I see on Discord, in our Discord community, Brian Ace posted a little article that says WWE stars are skeptical of CM Punk's good behavior backstage. That's all bullshit. That's all bullshit. Come on, man. I'll tell you why it's bullshit. Because at the end of the day, one or two people could feel that way, but that doesn't sum up everyone. We don't know the truth of what's going on backstage. We don't know the reality of what the hell's going on overall. Of course it's bullshit. It's bullshit because one or two people can be upset or be feeling like it's all baloney and that his behavior is all because it's day one, but that doesn't change the fact that he's back. I hope CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble. That'll be great. Punk has the biggest star in AEW. Wait, Punk was the biggest star in AEW. His whole gimmick was being the underdog in WWE for sure. In AEW, he was like John Cena. And I said that earlier, Sosa. I know you just joined, right? I said that earlier. CM Punk became everything he criticized. Remember when he was criticizing the franchise? He was criticizing the big names and the part-timers. That's who he became. Oh, Bully said he wouldn't have done the sports team. He felt there was no need for it. As good as it got, Punk booed. Everything else they said was pretty much what you said. Ah, okay. You get what I'm saying? Also, skeptical means they don't trust him. Doesn't mean he's actually done anything. Exactly, for sure, MGM. I think I take all those reports with a grain of salt. I think that you take it with a grain of salt because he's been back for how many shows now? 2 shows. He's been back for a couple days in terms of like counting Saturday till now. But I don't really think there's any real stock behind that. I don't think there's any real news to worry about behind that. I wholeheartedly believe that CM Punk will make this work. I truly believe. Look, bro, you're not going to continue to stay in this chat mentioning cancer and Punk and all this bullshit. You could bash Punk all you want, but stop name dropping cancer. I don't appreciate that bullshit. I don't appreciate the fact that you attacked my hair and all this other shit. You're acting like a big baby. You don't like CM Punk. You don't like what he said. That's totally fine. You don't have to be a disrespectful piece of shit. I'm putting you in timeout for a couple minutes here. Take a deep breath. Soak it up. Keep talking your shit. I'm not going to tell you to stop talking shit. Keep talking your shit. That's what this channel is about. We're here to discuss wrestling, discuss our opinion. You don't have to agree with me. I don't have to agree with you. But the moment you get disrespectful and the moment you cross the line and start saying bullshit like what you've been saying, you're going to get put on timeout. You're going to get stomped on. And we're not going to put up with that bullshit here because this ain't Tony Khan. And I'm not going to act here like you're not saying what you're saying. All right? So let me just make that very loud and clear. And by the way, guys, let me take a little quick piss break. I'm going to take a quick piss break, literally like 2 minutes. Let me go to the bathroom real quick. And I want you guys to flood the comment section. How did you feel about the promo? I want to give me a detailed response. Don't just tell me, Lex, I thought it was good. Give me a detailed response. I want to read your comments and be engaged with what you guys have to say in the Lexoverse, man. I'm really interested and I'm really committed to reading your comments. Let me take this 5-second break real quick. Let me know how you feel. All right. We're back. Little quick pause. Let's see what y'all are saying. Best in the world is back. What up, Kev? I literally felt like a kid again, Lex. Literally felt emotional. What up, Sins? Lex, what do you think about the new version of Cult of Personality? I love it personally. Thought it was all right. Thought it was good. I hope we get face CM Punk for a while before he goes heel, because we know he's great at both. Yeah, I hope we get face CM Punk for a while too. Can't wait to get his shirt. Bozo. Lex, thought the Punk promo was good, especially with the way Punk left in 2014. Yep. His promo was great. I'm just happy he's back. I thought it did its job. I agree with Billy Ray that his NHL comment did lower the crowd a bit. I also feel him saying I'm home got criticism for it being the third time he said it in a return. Yeah, but I think that when you analyze that he said I'm home in terms of being with the fans, I think that's really what he was referring to. Here's my response. I thought it was bad. Why I thought it was bad? Because he didn't bury AEW or didn't bash Tony Khan. He also said scripted stuff. All right. Fair enough. I thought the promo was very well said, but unappreciated because people want him to talk shit. Yeah. I think it's going to be undervalued when you look back in history, because in his first promo back, you know, he didn't take the digs at his former employer the way most people wish he would have, and I'm glad he didn't. I bashed plenty for doing that in AEW. I bashed him all the time, so I'm glad he didn't do that. I'm glad, because if he would have done that, then it would have put me in a spot where I would have been a massive hypocrite. Because I just feel like there's no need for him to, like, that goes without being said. Just him standing in a WWE ring is a statement on its own. Yes, exactly, MGM. 100%. That is true. 100%. The brass ring, the going after the top and having it in his pocket, walking in through the door, people not being happy that he's back. Did you see what Fightful say about Daniel Bryan headed up the disciplinary committee that ultimately decided to terminate Punk? Look, bro, that doesn't mean that Daniel Bryan doesn't like Punk. It doesn't. At the end of the day, let's talk about AEW, because I did say I was going to discuss AEW. So let's move away from his return real quick from WWE, and we'll circle back to that. And I want to take this time to address the AEW stuff and whatever bitterness may still be ongoing over there. Unfortunately, guys, as much as I love CM Punk, I don't know him. And that's just the reality in most cases with everyone across the globe as a fan of wrestling. We cheer and we enjoy his character and the way that he performs, but we don't know the guy. It's been said by people who have worked with him that he is difficult to handle. He's very set on his ways. He's very big on believing in himself and standing up for himself. But can you blame him for being that way when you work for a company that models their poster superstars after Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Batista, Randy Orton, I mean, everyone I just listed they're like damn near 6 feet to 6'5", super heavy built, super cut, you know, the prototype that is the WWE superstar in his heyday were that kind of superstar. You know, guys like Shawn Michaels and CM Punks of the world and such, the leaner, smaller guys, they're like an anomaly. They're not the, you know, the main attraction if they don't get a little reckless and get a little crazy and push for those spots. I don't think we'd be sitting here talking about Shawn Michaels and CM Punk and these guys if they weren't stirring up the pot backstage. If they weren't honing their craft the way they did. So it's a double-edged sword. So at the end of the day, I could see that being a reality. Phil Brooks, difficult to work with, fine. That's what made him the CM Punk that we all know and love. You can't have a John Cena type of Phil Brooks in terms of his mentality and still hope that you get the you know, the voice of the voiceless version that we got. So then let's go back to AEW's the conversation over there. Let's go back to the AEW stuff, shall we? So the AEW stuff is very weird in a lot of ways because CM Punk was not really in the mindset of him being a WWE guy. He always felt like he was that indie guy in WWE versus him becoming the WWE guy. So when he went into AEW, people had reserved opinions about him. Jon Moxley, I don't think ever really cared about him, even in WWE. And other guys back there, like basically the people that were friends with Colt Cabana, didn't really appreciate CM Punk and the treatment CM Punk got from Tony Khan upon arrival. So that's kind of Tony Khan's fault. Tony Khan kind of exiled Colt Cabana, who had issues with CM Punk, and Colt Cabana was a big part of AEW, backstage at least, even if he wasn't in the storylines on TV all that much. So that caused a lot of issues with guys like Hangman Adam Page and others. And when you look at CM Punk and everything he said at the press conference, at the commentary table when he was with the commentators, he was praising the talent in AEW and the possibilities of facing guys all across the all across the board. CM Punk wanted to be the ultimate cheerleader for AEW. CM Punk wanted to put over the talent there. Darby Allin. I mean, there's even a commentary thing saying that Jack Perry never gets mad at anybody. Jungle Boy. You know, he wanted to work with MJF. He enjoyed working with MJF. CM Punk wanted AEW to work. And when he came back to work for Collision, he wanted that to succeed because that was going to be like his baby. You know? And he just had issues backstage because the Young Bucks, Jack Perry, Colt Cabana, and Lord knows whoever else didn't respect or care about the guy. And CM Punk wasn't going to stay quiet. CM Punk wasn't going to back down. Could he have handled things differently? Yeah. But you didn't listen to his press conference? He said, I'm old, I'm tired, I'm beat up, and I'm working with children. That was at that famous media scrum. And Tony Khan stepped in and says, no, I know it's my fault. And he goes, no, that's not your fault. It's this, that, and the other. When we got the VPs doing this, that, you know what I'm saying? So, AEW, which was once home to this guy that wanted it to work so bad, saw himself in an environment that was more toxic and more unprofessional and unforgiving than the environment he worked in, WWE. Another thing I want to address here. This is crucial to the whole story, guys. And I want to really go deep into this conversation. Yes, CM Punk is back. Yes, he said he's home. We get all that. Stop and think about this all on your own for 1 second. Digest what I'm about to say. Cody Rhodes, that wanted out of his contract in WWE and was very vocal in the WWE documentary that came out on Peacock, that he hated his time there towards the end. Stardust, all that. He hated it all. He wanted out. He wanted to stick it to WWE. He wanted to rebrand himself. He wanted to rebuild himself. And he did just that everywhere else and proved his worth. Cody Rhodes went ahead along with the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and a few others, including Tony Khan. And they created AEW, All Elite Wrestling. And that was his response to WWE and everything that was WWE. CM Punk, ultimately anti-WWE, left, walked out on the company, didn't want to be there, didn't care to be there, did the Stone Cold, took the ball home, if you will. Remember when Stone Cold didn't want to fold for Brock Lesnar? He just walked out on Monday Night Raw. Well, CM Punk did the same thing the night after Royal Rumble. And for whatever reason, one thing led to another, unprofessional, professional, hard to work with, toxic, whatever. CM Punk had issues backstage at AEW. Cody Rhodes had issues backstage at AEW. And if you want to throw this guy into the mix now, we can. QT Marshall, one of Cody Rhodes' friends, who was a writer and a head producer in AEW and a head trainer in AEW, also had creative differences and just recently walked out saying that he's done with them and they parted ways. Jade Cargill was offered everything that she wanted, and she, look at her character in AEW. She was undefeated forever. She never lost a belt until recently, and she didn't re-sign with them. So you have QT Marshall, you have CM Punk, you have Cody Rhodes, all people who wanted to succeed and wanted to thrive with AEW. All of a sudden, all of them are in WWE. Except for QT Marshall. QT Marshall is obviously just now leaving AEW. Lord knows where he's going to end up and what he's going to do. I know that he still trains and has students to train in his own school of wrestling and stuff like that. But what I'm trying to say here, guys, is simple. As fans, we're always going to choose sides. As fans, we're going to stick up for whatever we think we know. Truth of the matter is, we don't know what the hell these people are living through and what they see behind the scenes. Ultimately, I don't blame Bryan Danielson for wanting CM Punk out of AEW. Because if a lot of people had issues with CM Punk, then you got to get rid of the common issue backstage. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to fault Bryan Danielson for voting for him to get out, or Tony Khan even for letting him go. It didn't work out. But the fact of the matter is this. People don't lose trend and thought here of what I'm trying to say. People like Cody Rhodes that built up AEW. People like CM Punk that wanted to push AEW forward. Guys like that came back to WWE where they thought they'd never go back. Doesn't that speak for itself? Do you really need a breakdown? Do you really need to be spoon-fed information? Is it not clear as day that there's something going on that we just don't really know about? Cody has no beef with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. He still says that those are his boys and he loves them and he shouts them out in interviews all the time. He's not bitter. He just said that there was, things they couldn't resolve when he was, negotiating and talking to Tony Khan, and that they moved on. Cody Rhodes worked for AEW for like a whole 2 months without an actual contract and was getting paid based on appearances at that point in time while they were negotiating. Imagine. That's how badly he wanted to stay there. So the fact that CM Punk returned at Survivor Series, didn't say a word, and the WWE Universe ended up spreading, the CM Punk rage online. The fact that CM Punk cut a half-baked promo for 5 minutes on Monday Night Raw and the WWE Universe hasn't stopped talking about it since. That's why CM Punk belongs in pro wrestling somewhere, right? The wrestling gods wrote this in a weird way where Survivor Series was in Chicago at the perfect time for him to end up back in WWE and do what he's about to do on his final run before he fully retires. It's crazy to think that this is where we're at in 2023 in the world of pro wrestling. It's even crazier for people to still ultimately, choose a side here when everyone had a role to play and it's just not a one-sided thing. There's two sides to every story. I just think it's laughable. The internet community, the community in the internet, the wrestling community is just sometimes it's the best place to be in on earth, and sometimes it's the most toxic, worst place to be on at the same time. I know I'm part of the conversation here. I'm adding to the conversation here, but it's just hilarious. Guys, use your logic, use common sense here. It took AEW and all the shit that went on backstage over there for CM Punk to want to go back to WWE. That says a lot. He's home. He's back. Get over it. MJF said in a Busted Open interview, he said people think we have issues with other company. We don't. We always cheer the other one better. Yeah, of course. That was a grown-up thing to say. Eddie Kingston definitely doesn't like WWE, and if he ends up having an issue with AEW down the line, he'll end up going to New Japan permanently before ever stepping foot in a WWE ring, which is totally fine. He's one of those guys that's real set on his ways. According to Cody and the doc, it was personal reasons. Oh, yeah. We'll never know the reality behind it, and I'm glad that Cody Rhodes is not going to go and do one of those little tell-all bullshits. What the hell? I just saw a video of some rapper called Wick. His bodyguard sent a fan asking for a picture to the hospital. 21-year-old rapper. Rap star fan in critical condition from beating after Tampa concert. I just saw the video. How disgusting, bro. That... I know it's completely off topic, but I'm here online doing research as I'm having these conversations. That's ridiculous, bro. There was no need. That's how you... That's like... There was no need for that. Like, I get it that sometimes fans are a little crazy and they do stupid shit. And I get it that, you know, Lord knows maybe the fan said something or whatnot. Like, we really don't know the whole story. But the way that they sucker punched him and knocked him out and hit him again, like, they doubled down on the punch and literally laid him out cold to the point where he might even die with brain damage. That's freaking disgusting. Some stupid ass little nobody rapper. And all the dude wanted was a picture. That's disturbing, bro. Let me see what Omar tagged me in. That's funny. Somebody drew CM Punk returning at Survivor Series. Seth Rollins raging and Randy Orton in the ring sitting down. That's cool. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest. Put me to the test and expect nothing less. Your check is I'm chess. What's happening next? Yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon. No coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain. It's a blessing. New focus, no guessing. Just bold and obsession. All in his possession. You got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill no discretion. Your mind is a weapon. 11-11. It's time for progression. Could try to play you, but you're never gonna be me. My bad, guys. I kind of froze up. Eddie Kingston doesn't like a lot of things and people, that's for sure. I know him. He got more than 1 million views. Who cares how many views he has? He's an idiot. Who cares? 73 million views. Who cares? He's his entourage and whoever punched that guy is a piece of shit for doing that. Doesn't matter. I don't care how many views he has. That doesn't justify shit. Another news that happened is the trial of Sunny. She got sentenced to 17 years. I think it was like a drunk driving thing, right? I don't see why people like Kingston. Kingston is awesome. Yeah, I saw it. Disgusting. That's horrible. That was his homeboy. Wick, that's my dude. Doesn't matter, bro. His entourage, his people. That's dumb, bro. You don't do that shit. You don't knock somebody out for asking for a picture. It's not like you only do something like that if they pulled like a weapon or I don't know, like I don't know. That's so dumb. Sorry, I'm sorry. I don't mean to get off topic here, but that's... He could have 100 billion views. That doesn't justify somebody getting knocked out like that, bro. It was drunk driving thing and Someone got killed. Yeah. I remember reading about that. That was crazy. All right, more CM Punk stuff. So now that I said what I said about CM Punk, right? Wanting to make things work in AEW so bad, and ultimately things not working out. What do you guys think about that? How does a guy that wanted to beat WWE so bad ends up back in WWE? Don't tell me it's because he had nowhere to go. Because that would be a lie. CM Punk doesn't need wrestling. That's just the truth. Look at that. Nate ended up saying that. That's funny. Because he had nowhere to go. That's hilarious. Because of money? Not because of money. You're talking about a guy that... I hope you guys know that he's still getting paid royalties from the merchandise being sold in AEW. I hope you know that he was still getting royalties for everything that WWE was still selling. He's getting paid royalties without having to wrestle. Just so you guys know how that works, in case you didn't. So, on top of the royalties, CM Punk he is a big enough name to literally create his own show. Lex, what do you mean? CM Punk could become a podcaster. CM Punk could create a YouTube show. CM Punk could create a TikTok show. CM Punk could do a Twitter show. What up, Amari? CM Punk could create anything and everything he ever wanted all on his own with no WWE, no AEW. He could have literally done absolutely anything. He could have continued to write comics. He could have continued to do whatever he wanted. He doesn't have to put his body on the line. He could tell you that he's there for money. That's the obvious, like, yeah, he got a big contract, all that bullshit. Of course, he already got paid millions from AEW. His podcast would tank? No, it wouldn't. So if you guys are thinking money, that's wrong. If you guys are thinking that he had nowhere to go, that's also wrong. Because ultimately, this guy is pulling in all these crazy... Keep in mind, within the last couple of months, we had John Cena return. We had The Rock return. Jade Cargill signed with WWE. A couple years ago, we had Cody return to WWE. We had all these polarizing figures jump ship and all the... Yet CM Punk, out of all people, is the most social moment in wrestling history, and social media has been around already for a good bit. CM Punk, the most social moment in wrestling history across all WWE platforms. He did realize you think the grass is greener until you go there situation. You're right about that, MGM. You're right. That's part of the reason. He's a rapper from Jacksonville, Florida, so it probably was the way he went about it. Doesn't matter where he's from. It doesn't matter how many followers. Piece of shit move by whoever's in his entourage. If Punk wasn't a draw, would not have been WWE champion for over a year, for sure, especially in the time that he was champion. I like Eddie, the character, but the more I hear about him, he sounds like a handful to meet in real life. Maybe. Nate, stay off the weed. Punk could have gone to TNA, NWA, New Japan, had a lot of places he could have gone. Not only that, he just didn't need to wrestle at all anymore. I'm worried that CM Punk will cause backstage drama, Lex. The issue with him and Triple H and Vince will only get worse. They'll just fire him and who cares? They'll just move on. And they still got the views off of him already. Doesn't matter, bro. You need to understand that this isn't, he's not going to disrupt anything backstage. He's not going to disrupt and make backstage a living hell and cause for the company to go under or ruin any kind of plans that they had. He's gonna. It's a business, and if he breaks whatever they're trying to do, and they'll just fire him, and that's it. Matt Riddle could have still been in WWE. They just didn't want to deal with him, and they let him go. And they'll let him go if they have to, bro. And he's not gonna be the first, and he won't be the last. Instead, I don't get why we have to all of a sudden think about, oh man, he's gonna. There's gonna be issues with CM Punk backstage. Like all of a sudden, everybody's a worried, lawyer. Like if they work behind the scenes, dude, you are a consumer. You are a fan. You are nothing but another viewer. All you're gonna do is click on a video, open up, turn on your television, and watch TV. You're gonna watch the pay-per-view. That's all you're gonna do. You're just a standard, average, regular fan like me and anyone else. Okay? Whatever CM Punk drama happens backstage, that's amongst them and their issue and their problem to handle. Just like I said the stuff about Vince McMahon, I'm going to say it about CM Punk. That is none of our business. Just an average Joe. Exactly, Gridiron. We're just an average Joe. We're just a viewer. We're just an ant. We're just a whole lot of nothing. We're just a fan. If Seth Rollins hates CM Punk and wants to kill him, as long as he doesn't commit a crime, who cares? We're here to watch WWE television and wrestling in general. We don't care about none of those things. But everyone online wants to comment, and that's not even the conversation. This is WWE, not a startup company ran by a super rich fan and his wrestling buddies. No drama to worry about. Exactly. If CM Punk causes drama backstage, if somebody doesn't work with CM Punk, one of two things is going to happen. CM Punk is going to get suspended and go home without pay. The person that doesn't want to work with him is going to take their ball and go home. That's happened before. It won't be the first. It won't be the last time that happens. And then there's a third option here. Someone will get fired. Who cares? It doesn't mean WWE's going to cancel Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, or freaking the Royal Rumble. Nardo Wick tried to stop them at the end. I definitely see where you're coming from, though. He definitely going to get sued, bro. You know what? Tried to stop them or whatever, yeah, but that's his entourage. He's responsible for the people around him. It is what it is. It happened. It was under his supervision. They were trying to protect him from absolutely nothing. That guy didn't cause any danger, any harm, and it is what it is. That's all bullshit. Yes, I heard about Daniel Bryan. We kind of talked about that. I kind of broke that down already. We'll keep talking about it. What is it that you want to talk about? I just feel like we're focusing and talking about all this shit like doomsday is happening. Doomsday is coming. CM Punk is gonna kill the locker room. Find out what happens next on WWE TV. Boo-hoo, who cares? So I don't know if you mentioned this too, but Cutie is supposedly delivering the reports about this. I seen what I said on Discord talking about Cutie and AJ Lee. Yeah, I already talked about the Cutie stuff, and I had posted earlier in the day the quote from Cutie Marshall. Yes. Don't you agree with me that Punk is a stick-up guy who thinks he can do whatever he wants? Punk has been known for starting problems, then get beat up. Punk, bro, if you respect John Cena, if you respect Dwayne The Rock Johnson, if you respect Stone Cold Steve Austin, if you respect any polarizing figure ever, Chris Jericho, the list goes on and on. All these people have one thing in common with CM Punk. They all speak up for themselves. They all believe they're better than what they sometimes end up doing. They all try to tell worthy stories, and they all have a whole lot of faith in themselves overall. So what's the problem? That CM Punk has to stick to his name, that he's a problem? That's not your problem. Who cares? Who cares? Lex, Punk might have a majority of those problems worked out 5 years ago. Remember, Punk was back in WWE family 5 years ago. Punk on the backstage show. Yeah, he was backstage. He's been backstage a couple times. AEW can beat WWE if WWE mentions AEW and I like it. I don't know. Come on, bro. What's going on with the fan base always putting shit on Punk? No, you're not wrong, Ace. And you're right. Ultimately, you're right. Yeah, everyone wants to point the finger at CM Punk. Yet none of them know the guy. We don't know the truth. Oh, yeah, that he worked with backstage. You're right, yeah. So let's talk about the whole Daniel Bryan stuff, shall we? Let's talk about that. So now the conversation online has kind of turned its attention to like CM Punk getting let go by AEW and there being a committee, and the rumor mill is now being fueled that Bryan Danielson is part of that committee, and he was part of the voting process to have CM Punk fired. And I'm not surprised. Lex, what are you talking about? You're saying all these things. You're being positive about CM Punk. If you work in a company and you see that there's a lot of people that are having issues with one person, even if your friends are like that person, you see that the relationship is unsalvageable. CM Punk was gone for what, a year or so? He comes back and they still have issues again because wrestlers don't respect him and he stood up for himself, and whatever else he said that might have ruffled some feathers. What would you do? Logically speaking, forget about being a fan, forget about choosing sides, forget about... You are trying to solve a problem for the greater good. You want your company that you work for to succeed. You're part of a committee. You have to vote. What will you do in that position? I will ultimately have to vote and say, as much as I love Phil Brooks, as much as I love what he brought to AEW's attention, I'm sorry, I gotta let him go. Because I know that even if I fire Jack Perry, who fueled this problem, there's still other people that have issues with this guy. Right? I would have suspended Jack Perry like they did. I would have sat down and had a serious conversation with Jack Perry. But even if I fire Jack Perry, there's still more than a handful of people that have issues with this one guy. So for the greater good of this company, not thinking about money, not thinking about viewers, not thinking about XYZ, literally thinking about what started this issue to begin with. Now, keep in mind that AEW had its fair share of issues backstage without CM Punk even being part of the product. Whether it was Eddie Kingston and Sammy Guevara, what's this dude's name? Andrade also, and several others. You know, Jack Perry, Adam Page, CM Punk. This isn't the first rodeo of issues that they've had backstage. But right now, the common issue with whether it was with Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Colt Cabana, some producers, I've heard that there's other producers and people that had issues with CM Punk. So if the common issue, despite on who started it, who ended it, doesn't matter. You gotta let go of that one polarizing figure that's causing all these issues at the end of the day. And I love CM Punk, man. I'm a big fan of CM Punk. But I gotta be honest with myself. How do we move on? How do we move forward without CM Punk? Well, there is another way. You may have to disagree with me. It's okay. There is another way. You're right. Maybe firing Punk wasn't the way. Suspending him once again would have been better. Truth of the matter is, Tony Khan, the way he's running AEW, they're just not at the same business level as WWE. There's no real format. There's no real structure backstage that protects them from these kind of issues that we know of. They haven't been around long enough to survive these problems. And they're kind of learning as they go. Obviously, AEW has a structure issue backstage. Obviously, CM Punk isn't the only problem, but you got to connect the dots. Right now, the quickest way to solve this is by letting a guy like CM Punk go to make sure the locker room goes back to being as healthy as it can be. Another thing to do is sitting down and communicating all these issues and have everyone face to face and have a company-wide meeting, right? You could go that route. I'm not sure if they even tried to do that. We read online that CM Punk wanted to have a meeting with the Young Bucks, with Kenny Omega, and wanted to work with everyone. He wanted to make it work. Who knows? We just really don't know. I'm going based on the little knowledge that we do have. The AEW locker room may have not been all that great before, but it just got worse because everyone had a common enemy. So, unfortunately, it was tough, and it just is what it is. The reason why I'm saying all of this is because I'm not blaming Bryan Danielson for voting for having Punk fired. You can't blame Bryan Danielson. He's doing with what anyone in that situation would do, is what I think. And I love CM Punk, and I'm sure Daniel Bryan has a healthy relationship with CM Punk. Yeah, they said the morale is better, so problem solved for now. This is a growing pain for AEW, and they have to learn from this issue, and they have to address it in some way, shape, or form in the future. And hopefully that means, becoming more business savvy going forward. At the end of the day, WWE doesn't suffer from this problem because they solve their issues with different, agendas, I guess. Tony Khan has already stripped away a lot of power from the people that initially had power going into creating AEW. So I don't know what's next for them. I can't speak on that matter. I'm not a professional behind-the-scenes guy. But I could say that I'm not blaming Daniel Bryan, and that's what this conversation is about. So if he did vote against him, so what? He did what anyone else in his position would do. I don't think that's not news to me. It's not news. And everyone knows what a polarizing figure CM Punk is. It makes wrestling feel real. And that's something that the modern day wrestling world has been missing. Stone Cold brought that to the Attitude Era. The Attitude Era had a lot of moments. I mean, hold on. The Attitude Era had a lot of moments where the lines were blurred, with Vince McMahon getting his ass whooped and, you know, blurring that you know, is this real or fake stuff? And that's what CM Punk does for the business. That's what CM Punk does. CM Punk makes everything seem so real and legit. And that's why that feud with Seth Rollins is going to hit home. And he already called him a hypocrite live on TV. And he's going to be the voice of reason for the fans. And that's going to be amazing. And that's the selling point, and WWE's going to use that to their advantage. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, fans will be fans and will pick sides here, and they're going to blow things up out of proportion. Why are we talking about CM Punk and AEW? He's not even there anymore. It's because everybody loves the drama. Everybody loves that bullshit, you know, negative, toxic behavior. That's what drives social media oftentimes. That's just the truth. I know it. The reality is this. We're just fans. And we're here to enjoy the show. And I think CM Punk is going to make... CM Punk and WWE will make this a fun, exciting time to be a wrestling fan. For sure. So guys, if we have any new viewers in the chat and you love wrestling, not only do we do podcast style, you know, streams like we're doing right now, I do watch parties for Monday Night Raw from time to time, SmackDown, Dynamite, pay-per-views. We play video games on here. In order to celebrate CM Punk this week, I will be playing WWE 13 on Xbox. All right. We're going to be celebrating CM Punk's arrival all week long. We're going to be talking about everything and unpacking everything as the week goes on. So I want you guys to subscribe to the channel. We have 11,125 subscribers. We're on our way to 11,200. And just so you know, let me just put this out there into the universe in case anyone is watching back the stream or anyone is lurking. If you guys have any fans, even if you guys have 10,000 accounts, I don't care. When we get to 20,000 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a massive giveaway, giving away 3 awesome prizes to viewers. And we're going to do membership giveaways and so much more. And I got so much planned for when the channel expands. And we're on our way to 20K. We're just 9,000 subscribers away. Or should I say 8,000 and like 875, something like that. Something like that. And we need to reach that milestone ASAP. WWE 2K24 is around the corner. We're going to be talking about CM Punk so much more, but it's not just CM Punk. It's the wrestling genre in general. I just like spring drama. No problem, Nate. And I love it, man. I love talking back. I love dissecting these conversations. I enjoy the back and forth. I thoroughly enjoy, the talk. So welcome to the community. Welcome. All opinions matter here. Just know that we don't have to always agree. So the goal right now, we're just on our we are on a short run to 11,200, but it goes beyond that. If you guys want to become a member to support the channel, support the streams, just $3 a month gets you all these awesome emojis, and we're constantly shifting and changing them. So just want you guys to know that the conversation will always continue on here. WWE 13 showcase mode was the Attitude Era mode. Great showcase. Yeah, it was. Lex, I think Cody Rhodes' return to is better and more epic. I'm sorry, but Punk has been given many chances. I'm sick of this guy now. What has he done to you? If I remember correctly, WWE 13 was last time we seen Road Warriors in a WWE game. Ooh, that's a good question, Glint. I'm actually not too sure about that. Can someone fact check? I know VJ is really good at remembering all these things. VJ is one of our valued community members here. If you guys ever miss a segment on stream, I usually clip them and upload them as a video. So if you guys see those videos, stop on by, comment, drop a like, share, all that good stuff. Like right now, we just talked about Bryan Danielson, and I just uploaded the video in real time. So just know that we're going to be covering more than just CM Punk going forward. JD from New York and Sean's View are your favorite YouTubers. That's awesome, man. Look, I don't have honestly, wholeheartedly, and I'm just being frank with you guys, I don't have a problem with JD. I don't really watch his content because I don't really watch anyone else's content for the most part. I see what people send me on Discord or post on in our Discord community, which I suggest you guys should join. We have an awesome Discord community. But ultimately, I respect every wrestling content creator. I love wrestling. I enjoy wrestling, and everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I think JD knows his targeted audience. And I think JD knows what has made him trend and has pushed his channel to the next level. I'm just not that guy. We haven't had the Road Warriors in a game in a long time. Yup. So, let's get into the CM Punk promo from Monday Night Raw again. Let's get into that conversation again. Do I think that's the best promo ever? No. Do I think that CM Punk cut a groundbreaking promo? No. Do I think that CM Punk could have done a little better? Yes. Do I think WWE cut it short? Of course. Of course. Of course. That's a given. I think that's a given. That's the obvious. I'm not here to talk about the obvious. I'm here to unpack what's going on between the lines. I'm here to dissect, what's going on between the lines here. I enjoyed that promo for what it was. It broke ground into his return. It reestablished himself as a character in WWE programming, and it is what it is. I'm not going to say it's the worst promo ever. It's a lot like what he did in AEW. And when he cut those kind of promos in AEW, I said the same thing. I wanted him to do more. I want to see the real CM Punk. I don't want to see Phil Brooks out there. I feel like this is the best return in WWE history. You know why you feel that way, Carter? You know why you and so many others feel like this is the best return in WWE history? Because it was impossible. It was never meant to happen. It wasn't going to happen. Ever. Ever. Why are we here talking about CM Punk in WWE in 2023? It was never meant to happen. CM Punk felt wronged by this company that he was building up alongside the guys like John Cena, Randy Orton, and all those dudes. He didn't want to be in WWE anymore and went away from WWE. So what made him return? 3 letters. AEW. What brought Vince McMahon and Triple H and Nick Khan and all these guys to always say never say never? Business. Business as usual. If you are a draw in the world of professional wrestling, you will always have a place in history in the WWE. Everyone loves Stone Cold Steve Austin, but everyone also forgets that Stone Cold Steve Austin took his ball home and ran away. And he's not the only one to ever do that. I love Stone Cold. He's my favorite of all time. Let me make that known on here, loud and clear. I love Stone Cold Steve Austin. He is amazing. What he did for this business is just ridiculous. And I will forever appreciate everything he gave to World Wrestling Entertainment, formerly known as World Wrestling Federation. CM Punk was never supposed to be in a WWE ring unless he was getting inducted into the Hall of Fame or something like that. He was never supposed to return this soon. Yet here we are discussing, dissecting, and talking about him being back. That's crazy. That's crazy. All on its own. I am filled with joy that we're living this timeline. It almost feels like the Marvel Cinematic Universe crossing over in this multiverse wrestling space that just wasn't really ever supposed to happen. It's mind-blowing. And I'm all for it. You go ahead and leave WWE the way CM Punk left. Or even, let's talk about Ryback since you guys keep mentioning him. How about Ryback, who's constantly trolling just for views, who's constantly bashing and talking all this nonsense just for views? He obviously has a gripe with WWE. But even Ryback would return to WWE if he had the chance. At the end of the day, you got to look at the circumstances and the context within the circumstances. Hell froze over. CM Punk came back. And AEW dropped the ball. They couldn't make it work. Just like WWE dropped the ball way back when. Let's not be a hypocrite. Let's be honest. Punk and Danielson are friends. Danielson made the choice for the greater good of the company. I don't blame the guy. Punk never abandoned us. No, don't say that, bro. Look, you can't bash CM Punk when he's the one going out there and working with the people that he works with and putting his body on the line through all the injuries he went through. WWE dropped the ball in 2013. AEW dropped the ball in 2023. If Bruno Sammartino, Ultimate Warrior, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, all these guys that left the company to do whatever they wanted, Dave Bautista, if they were able to return, what's the big deal here? Why can't CM Punk return? Why is he a hypocrite? You would do the same thing if you had the chance. Goldberg came back too, exactly. Exactly, Gridiron. They could call Goldberg. They don't need Ryback. They have the real guy on speed dial. Come on, man. How about Randy Orton? As many issues as he had. How about Jeff Hardy? As many chances as he got. How many chances has just Jeff Hardy had? TNA, AEW, WWE multiple times? Come on, don't be a hypocrite. Don't be that guy. Be better. Be better. You don't have to be a super diehard CM Punk fan to acknowledge the fact that he's good for business. And I'll say this once again. CM Punk is back home. Get over it. He doesn't care about us fans. You know he didn't all those years he was gone. The only reason why he's back is for the fans. I just, this knight in shining armor mindset that he doesn't belong or shouldn't be, or all this nonsense going on around town, I just don't understand it. I'm happy. I'm ecstatic. I'm glad. What's the big deal? What's the problem? Why are people complaining so much all of a sudden? I think that it's just fake, baseless hate. And I love Triple H. I think Triple H is the best thing that ultimately ever happened to WWE behind the scenes. If you guys want to talk about behind the scenes, let's talk about behind the scenes. Triple H is a mastermind. And he has my vote of confidence. I trust Triple H. He only cares for indie stars. Are you really going to say that in the same sentence while talking about how you love AEW? Punk was right. He said the company would be better off without Vince. He was right. Because in 2023, the company is better. But that doesn't mean that Vince was doing a bad job or was horrible at his job, because Vince McMahon still produced one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. Exactly, Chris. Jeff Hardy had drug problems too. Exactly. You have to disagree. You're disagreeing with everything I'm saying just because I'm not here ranting. Matt Riddle got sexual assault allegations towards him. He's done. Exactly. That's why they let him go. Too many issues. So Bloodline dead, Roman an afterthought? Roman an afterthought. Wait, who said that? So Punk respects Vince, and Vince. Bro. Amari, how old are you? And I'm not going to like use it against you fully. Like, I'm not going to trash you and drag you through the floor. But I want to know your age real quick. So face versus face, Lex. Rollins versus Punk. Who will become a heel? I think it's going to be like a tweener situation. Nate is 24. Amari's 20. Guys, I think you are speaking from lack of experience. And not that I've experienced all this life a lot more than you have. But between my own experiences, between other people's experiences, between all the stuff that I've always read, I've kind of gathered and formulated this idea that it's very easy to judge, to point the finger, to, put the blame, to make assumptions, and take things out of context, pick sides without realizing that there's two sides to a story, that it's not always black and white. And because you said one thing today doesn't mean that can't change later. Triple H said it best in the press conference. Man, a lot of time has passed. 10 years has passed. If CM Punk is the same guy who he was 10 years ago, then there's a problem with that. I don't expect him to be. No one is. Everyone evolves. Everyone grows. Triple H changed. The Triple H that's running the show behind the scenes right now is not the same Triple H from the Attitude Era. That cutthroat, you know, asswipe, cheating piece of crap that he once was. He made his fair share of mistakes. Who are we to judge? Triple H is no angel. Shawn Michaels, who's doing great in NXT, is no angel. You grow from the mistakes that you make. CM Punk has grown from the mistakes he's made. You think that CM Punk is not fully aware that him being back in WWE is probably one of the craziest things ever? And if you told CM Punk a year or two ago that he'd be back in WWE, he'd laugh in your face? CM Punk cut a promo on Monday Night Raw admitting the truth, his reality, and people are still bitter and saying that it's not enough. It just started. So you want to talk about Ryback. Lex, if you were in WWE, would you give Ryback a second chance? Here's the whole thing. How much of a draw is Ryback? How much value does the brand Ryback truly have? How much does Ryback have left in the tank? What up, Brian? At the end of the day, everyone deserves a second chance. Truly, wholeheartedly believe that. Depending on the context. Depending on the circumstances. You gotta look at the situation and the things that were said. Are they forgivable? Are they, things that you could get over, get past? Can you make amends? Can you have that grown conversation and get past that? The worst thing Ryback has gone on to say was talking about Vince McMahon's, mother, talking about wrestling and the title being just, like a piece of metal. Kind of bringing the community down in a way for certain things. And kind of like dumbing shit for fans. I don't see the value in Ryback right now. I think Ryback needs to go on a world tour of reconfiguring his image a little bit. Working the indies, working, in other established promotions, not mentioning AEW, it could literally be anywhere on the planet. Reestablishing his brand again beyond his food videos, beyond the negative tweets, beyond the trolling he does online, because that's what he does, a lot of trolling. Ryback was someone that I truly believed in at a point in time. I bought his $30 shirt. I cheered for the guy. I used to get goosebumps. I used to play as him in the video games. I really wanted to see Goldberg versus Ryback. That was a dream match of mine. But Ryback, to me, should be an afterthought in terms of who you would bring back to the company. One guy that, man, I mean, if I see him back on WWE TV, I'd probably get goosebumps just because of how much I love the guy. And I think you guys would agree with me. Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona deserves to be a WWE lifer. He deserves to have that Dolph Ziggler treatment where they keep him around whether they're using him or not. Matt Cardona is the number one guy at the top of my list. Jon Moxley would be another one I would welcome back into WWE, no doubt about it. Jon Moxley always has a door open for him. I would always welcome those guys back. But at the top of my list, Matt Cardona, no doubt about it. Zack Ryder was his name in WWE. I would bring him back as Matt Cardona. He is just, he oozes WWE. He is such a WWE historical nerd. He knows the business. He's been in the business for so long. He deserves a second chance. He should have never been fired, but I'm glad he was fired and he was let go because that led to him becoming who he's become. Velveteen Dream is a piece of shit. Screw him. I don't know about giving him a second chance. That guy is full of shit and just... I would rather WWE give Matt Riddle another chance down the line when he kind of cleans himself up. Enzo is another one I would welcome back. Cesaro never did anything wrong. I would 100% welcome back Cesaro. Cesaro was just a casualty of the business. But I would definitely bring back Cesaro. Why not? Cesaro never... And Jon Moxley never... what has Jon Moxley truly said that's been bad about WWE? It's been his point of view. Jon Moxley had his fair share of issues with WWE because, you know, let's face it, he had his own point of view and his own vision for himself. And it's okay. It's okay to be mad. It's okay to have that rage. It's okay to share that with the world whenever you want to share that with the world, especially the way Jon Moxley has. But at the end of the day, Jon Moxley hasn't really done anything that anyone else wouldn't do. Jon Moxley isn't a bad guy. Mark Henry isn't a bad guy. Mark Henry still watches the product. Mark Henry's not stupid. Mark Henry wants WWE to sign his son if that's what his son wants to become. Mark Henry's not an idiot. Mark Henry didn't burn any bridges. Sasha Banks is another one. Despite saying the stuff that she said and wanting to pave her own way, 1,000% I would see her back in WWE and I would bring her back in a heartbeat. Sasha Banks is exactly what the women's division needs and wants. 100%. These are all people that always will remain an option for WWE to welcome them back. Ryback, though? Ryback is at the very bottom of the list. He needs to do the World Press Tour that Drew McIntyre did. He needs to do the Cody Rhodes. He needs to do the Zack Ryder. He needs to go on and prove his worth elsewhere in other companies and ultimately show that he was just trolling, that at the end of the day he was just being bitter, that at the end of the day there's no real hard feelings. And maybe, just maybe, if there's enough stock and enough desire from the fans to want him back, maybe we could, you know, have another moment in time where Ryback is back. But let's face it, I'm going to look his name up right now. Ryback doesn't have too much time left. His body he's 42 years old, so he's still there. He still could be in the mix, right? But he doesn't have too much time to make his way back because he's going to have to go on a 1 or 2 year run outside of WWE to make his way back. And I just don't think Ryback loves the business that much. Honestly, Ryback is constantly bashing the same fans that made him who he was. He's constantly bashing the smart marks and mocking the business all the time. Ryback is just one of those guys that I'd worry about giving so many more people another chance versus Ryback, bro, honestly. And to say that Ryback does not need mental help, I mean, Ryback does need mental help to a capacity because some of the stuff that he says has been very questionable. Ryback is a guy that had a lot of fans, bro. He had a lot of fans. There was a great movement behind the Feed Me More campaign, and Ryback, you know, kind of squashed that fandom, bro. You know, what age you think wrestler lose their prime? Exactly what Highlight Reel said. That's Brian, by the way. It really depends on the guy. It depends on the person and how they train and how they're able to perform. The Rock is 50 years old and he could still go, right? He's a gym rat, great shape. He could still go. Cena's 46. He could still go. The reason why Cena's matches have been basic since returning is simple. Cena is protecting his body. Cena is trying to stay ready for Hollywood. Cena is not jeopardizing his career outside of WWE. You know, so that's why his matches were what they were. But yeah, exactly. LA Knight, DDP, these are guys that have been up there in age. Batista, Sting, the list goes on. It just really depends. Great Khali, would I welcome Great Khali back? Maybe as like an enforcer, something like that. Great Khali was barely a decent wrestler when he was there because he was already having issues with his body in WWE. Outside of WWE, he had a couple good matches and things like that. He was a little more agile. But Great Khali has always just been a little too big, and his legs, he just didn't really have them under him. But Ric Flair, no hard feelings. He's in AEW making money. I'm pretty sure he had WWE's blessing to go over to AEW. Del Rio? Nah, Del Rio's a piece of shit, bro. Del Rio's a piece of shit. I'm sorry. Khali already came back? Yeah. Jinder should join Veer and the other dude in the ring and let Khali be the manager. I agree with Highlight Reel. What Brian said makes a lot of sense. I would use Great Khali's fame to add to Jinder and Veer Mahan's legacy, because Jinder and Khali already had an encounter before. Adam Rose, he didn't really have any stock. Damn, what happened with Del Rio, Lex? You name it, bro. Del Rio's a good guy. I don't know about that, my dude. I don't know about that. I wouldn't say that Del Rio's a good guy. I don't know about that. Del Rio has had way too many issues. Way too many issues. Conan said he's giving Del Rio one more chance. You know, I've seen that he's like a super family man now and all that. He does have wife and kids, and you know, maybe he grew and stuff, but I feel like, I don't know, there's just been too many issues. Lex, Nate just disagreeing with everything I say. He's disagreeing with a lot of us. Bray Wyatt versus CM Punk would have been my dream match. It would have been great, but guys, I don't really want to talk about Bray Wyatt like that, because at the end of the day, there's a lot more to Bray Wyatt than just wrestling, and the loss of Bray Wyatt is the fact that Wyndham is the human being is gone forever. There's no coming back. So to be like, oh man, we could have had this match, we could have seen that, I don't know. There's just really no point in having that conversation. Like I said, the dude is gone forever, and that's a lot bigger than him having a dream match with a wrestler. I'm sorry, I'm not that guy. Vladimir Kozlov actually has appeared in TNA. Would I want him back in WWE? He just didn't really have all that much stock. Cena had 2 surgeries. Yeah, he just had 2 surgeries now. Yep. It's because Del Rio works in Mexico. Yeah, but still, I don't know. Del Rio, and I was a big Del Rio fan too. WWE should bring back Maven as a manager or something? He does YouTube now and is very entertaining. Yeah, Maven is doing some good content on YouTube. I agree. Maven has done some good content on YouTube, but I don't know. If Maven has that kind of interest. Santino Morella's and he does stuff with TNA. Paul London and Brian Kendrick. WWE actually had Brian Kendrick as a producer for a while. WWE offered to bring Maven back and he declined. Yeah, I did see him post about that. JTG is one that wanted to come back, but come on, what is JTG gonna do? He was part of the Crime Time group. What is he gonna do without Shad Gaspard, you know? Cena did not have 2 surgeries. Do an internet search. Yeah, he did. Kendrick was supposed to be in AEW. Oh, yeah, but then the allegations and all that. JTG and R-Truth team. I mean, yeah, they'll be funny. R-Truth is hilarious all on his own. So, back to the CM Punk drama. And I saw Barry come in here earlier saying that CM Punk has grown and that he's matured. I think him being back in WWE in general shows that he's grown into at least believing that he could be in WWE and could work for WWE. So, yeah. But we don't really know, you know, oh, so he's matured. We don't know what's going to happen. There's a lot that needs to kind of play out before we can truly judge the situation. We'll see. Wade Barrett should come back like him in Nexus Prime. I mean, he's there as a commentator. He's amazing as a commentator. How would you get CM Punk into the WrestleMania main event? Winning the Royal Rumble. Simple. Keep it simple. Keep it easy. Saw something online saying they should keep Wyatt family legacy going. Uncle Howdy, who's Bull, lead Braun Strowman and Eric Karrion Kross. Yes. We talked about that yesterday on stream a little bit, Brian. That is a good point that you're bringing that up again. That's a good conversation to have, actually. I'd rather talk about that than talk about, you know, dream matches and such. So losing a family member, bro, is devastating. Losing someone like that, 36 years old, a brother, such a bright future, so many plans, so many things left to do, abruptly just ending the way it did is just something that is catastrophic to any family member. So I won't go into too much details in that regard, but I will say this: whenever Bo Dallas is ready, if he ever gets inspired to wanna do this again, I will welcome with open arms the idea that he continues that Wyatt family legacy and he continues the Uncle Howdy character. It would give me chills and gives me goosebumps just even thinking about it. Lead Braun Strowman because Braun Strowman's been out of action. So bringing in Braun Strowman into that legacy, maybe adding a guy like Karrion Kross and putting him finally in the main event scene. Having Scarlett portray a version of being possessed with the whole Sister Abigail stuff would do wonders for everyone involved. I feel like they would all benefit from that, and it would be something classy. It would be something honorable. And I'm not even going to clip this and make this into a video, but I'll talk about it on stream and I'll make it a video and I'll make it a segment in the channel again. And I'll highlight it. For now, I'll just keep this as a conversation on stream for us to have, but I would definitely welcome that. And I think that would be beautiful to see. I just think that WWE should give Bo Dallas all the time in the world to, you know, find some sort of silver lining and wanting to come back. Welcome back, Elias and Ezekiel. Yeah, I think that Elias, the guy that plays Elias, Ezekiel, all that, I think he is just too talented, man. I know that Triple H and the writers that are currently in charge have nothing for him, but he is just so much better than that guy Adonis that was part of Hit Row. He is so much better than so many people there. I would have sent him down to NXT. I would have repackaged him kind of like what they did with Baron Corbin. Elias is just too damn talented to have allowed for him to walk away. He, so good on the mic, so good on the guitar. Rick Boogs is another one that I loved that I felt was too talented. Modern day Ultimate Warrior vibes. I mean, these are guys that ooze the prototype of what WWE is all about. Super passionate, super team players. I mean, get these guys back on the roster. Give them a chance. Bring them into the NXT fold with Shawn Michaels. Give them one more chance. You gave chances to all these other guys that might have had one too many chances or didn't deserve the chance at the time given. Give these guys an opportunity, man. Bring those guys back. It's a shame that they were let go, and that those guys, I feel bad for those guys because Boogs was on his way to the top with Shinsuke and he got hurt at the wrong time. Elias and Rick Boogs are two that, man, I really wish they were still around, especially with the resurgence of WWE and NXT with Shawn Michaels, bro. Bring Elias and have Damian Sandow play Ezekiel for a tag team. I would do that too. Bring back Damian Sandow. That's another guy that was just so amazing. God, those are some talented ass dudes, bro. Those are guys that ooze what WWE is all about. I don't know. Alex Riley had some issues backstage. I don't know about him. Elijah Burke, I know, was talented, but I don't know what he's been up to. I think no drama will come from Punk because WWE is ran by professionals, not children. I think there's always going to be drama surrounding CM Punk. I think CM Punk is just a polarizing figure like Brock Lesnar. I think there's always going to be so much in question around CM Punk. John Morrison, another guy, so much talent there, bros. John Morrison, Damian Sandow, Elias, Rick Boogs. I mean, those guys are just so freaking good, bro. Mr. Kennedy was another one that was really good. Those are just Dolph Ziggler, so good. We got tired of him losing. We got tired of the way he was booked, but these guys are so freaking talented. So freaking talented. Rusev is another one that I really like. Hold on. If we're going to be talking about guys that I really like, Aleister Black, another one that I really want back in WWE. Andrade is another one that I want back in WWE. These are guys that just, they belong. There's not a lot of space. I know right now WWE is very competitive, but yeah, AEW has done terrible. Somehow AEW has done terrible with Morrison. They've done terrible with Andrade. They've done pretty bad with Rusev. They've just done Buddy healed Moxley. Yeah, but Moxley wanted to leave. Adam Cole wanted to leave, and you can't blame those guys for wanting to leave. Bryan Danielson wanted to leave. You can't blame those guys. I'm talking about the guys that were let go. I'm talking about the guys. Do you think Seth Rollins is overused? Seth Rollins is the shit. I'm not the biggest fan of his little laugh and all his crazy characterizations and stuff like that he be doing, but Seth Rollins is the shit. Seth Rollins is amazing. I love Seth Rollins. That guy, second to none when it comes to pay-per-view matches. Second to none. He is just too good, bro. Seth Rollins is just too freaking good. Bro, laugh aloud. Attach wrestlers to rapper counterpart videos. I saw Stone Cold was Tupac. The Rock was Biggie. Triple H was Jay-Z. And Steph was Beyonce, and they had CM Punk as Kanye, both polarizing on both goats. You're right. That is good, Brian. That is right. Wow, look at Erica joining as Spark Hoppers in here. Switch to your other account, Miss Lady Lexx. Yo, guys, I want you guys to give a shout out to my wife, Erica. If you guys don't know, that's her. Give her a shout out, please, since we have so many people in the chat. Get well soon. She's feeling under the weather. Get well soon, Erica. Please, 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 please. If you guys can, give her some well wishes. Get well soon. If you guys can, put get well soon, Erica. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Seth Rollins is an A+ wrestler. Just too good. Just want to show her some love. She's been feeling under the weather. I was feeling under the weather. I'm still kind of recovering, but she's feeling it now. And I know that she could use a little boost. Some well wishes will go a long way for me and her. WWE should bring back John Morrison, give him flair, give him a fair chance under Triple H. Yep. Who is someone that might not make Hall of Fame but deserve it? Damn, I'm not sure. Got to change to Nissan Hopper because now it sounds like a Wii channel. Spark Hoppers? Well, Spark, the original stem from that came from, it was a play on words with the car. But Spark as in, the spark of like Disney and stuff, like a spark of hope and all that. Like it was a cheesy line that we had came up with when we were talking about ideas for a channel. We're talking about Punk, not other superstars. No, we're talking about everyone. Lex, both you and Erica got my support always. Thank you, VJ. Yo, guys, how do you like the CM Punk emoji that I added? I think it was like yesterday or the day before. Ken Shamrock. Oh, man, Ken Shamrock. Bring Ken Shamrock back. Have him manage someone. Anyone. The most dangerous man alive. Bring him back. I love Ken Shamrock. Thank you for mentioning him, Brian. I love Ken Shamrock. Bring Ken Shamrock back. Put him in the Hall of Fame for as short as his run was. MMA legend. Staple in the wrestling world. Real badass. Bring him back. We're bringing back stables. There's so many stables in WWE now, in the women's division and the men's division. Bring back managers. Have him train someone. Kind of like how they had Darren Young get trained by Bob Buckland. Bring Ken Shamrock back. I would have had him team up with like Matt Riddle or something. Not COVID, thankfully. Just whatever flu is around now. Everyone at my job was sick. Yeah. Bring Hulk Hogan back. Hulk Hogan is still involved with WWE. They bring him back enough. They bring him back every so often. Bring Ken Shamrock back to NXT, bro. Oh, my God. Have him in an NXT. Hell, bring back Scott Steiner, Big Papa Punk to manage Braun Breaker. Kemp helped Randy Orton get ready. That's awesome to hear. Bring Undertaker back. Undertaker's cool. Could be the manager for the Creed Bros. Oh my God, Brian. Oh my God, that's $1 million. I wish I had like a little animation to have like dollar bills fall through the thing. Let me see. Let me look for something like that. Hold on. Let me see how I can put it. Hold on. Let me see how I can put it. Hold on. Let's put that up. Let's see if it works. There we go. Raining money. Ken Shamrock managing the Creed brothers. Kurt Angle, but we've seen Kurt Angle do this already. Come on, we've already seen Kurt Angle do this. Give Ken Shamrock a chance. I'm just talking about giving Ken Shamrock a chance. AJ Lee was at Raw last night. Of course she was. She was with her husband, I'm sure. That's a given. Bring back Ken Shamrock. Brian, that's $1 million idea right there. I would love that. And if you don't know Ken Shamrock, put a video package, show his Attitude Era footage. Amazing work. Make the Creed brothers seem like they're becoming the most dangerous tag team alive. Oh my God, look at that nickname. The most dangerous tag team alive. Wow. We got to sign on to WWE and help Triple H a little bit. Was he better in UFC or WWE? He was better in MMA for sure, 1,000%, but man, would I love that. Oh, God. That would be just outstanding. What the hell? Great idea, Brian. Guys, we're going to take a short 2-minute break. Keep having the freaking suggestions pour in. I want to read the chat box when I get back. Give me literally 2 minutes. I want you guys to post who would you like to see get a second chance in WWE like CM Punk. Sound off in the comment section. Give me a 2-minute breather. Literally 2 minutes. Let me know in the comment section. Who do you want to see get a second chance in WWE? Alright. Not a lot of people commented. I see you guys are snoozing. Let's see what you guys came up with. I want to see what you guys came up with. Alright, let's see what you got for me. Let's see what you guys got for me. DDP. I love DDP. He's a little old, but yeah, I love DDP. Shamrock's first year, he got a WWE title shot against HBK on pay-per-view. Amazing. I actually got to look up that match. I don't remember that. Mr. Kennedy. Ooh, Mr. Kennedy. He's a trainer now in a school. Bring back Jimmy Wang Yang. Chavo. Oh, Chavo, man. I would have liked Chavo as a manager at the very least. I always wanted Chavo to get the run that WWE gave Rey Mysterio. I wanted Chavo to have that moment, especially because I don't know if you guys remember, but Chavo Guerrero, he was really freaking good in the ring. Like really, really, really good. Like really good. I'm not exaggerating. I always thought Chavo Guerrero was, you know, he wasn't as good on the mic. But in the ring, that guy could go. A lot of great talent, for sure. Yeah, you missed out on the Cruiserweight Division days in WCW. Leo Rush? Nah, I didn't really like Leo Rush like that. Buff Bagwell? I think he's out of it already, right? Brooklyn Brawler? I remember when they brought him back. Rikishi said he would love to do a storyline. I don't know why he hasn't been done. Yeah, bro, I would have brought Rikishi back as one of the elders. I think Rikishi has been around long enough and has been away from the joking character. Like, he hasn't been the joke that he used to be, dancing and all. Like, he's come back and done it with the Usos a couple times, but I don't think people really see him as a joke. I think the audience now would see him more as like an old school wrestler and stuff like that, you know? So considering that he's already a much older, version of himself and stuff like that, coming back with the blonde hair and the look and possibly with some bloodline clothes, like the Adidas looking clothes, the jumpsuit that Roman wears and shit, coming back with a similar jumpsuit, looking like an OG gangster, you know. I would definitely have Rikishi come back, and right now is the time. Like, the bloodline story has kind of, I don't know if you guys know this term. Well, you probably don't, but when you're driving a boat and you're just there, you go idle, like your computer, your phone, whatever, you go idle and you're just kind of like zzz, whatever. That's kind of like the bloodline storyline right now. They kind of shut off the engine a little bit, right? Roman has been out for a while. He came back, did the LA Knight stuff for Saudi Arabia. They're kind of like on that mode right now where they're just like floating. I don't think it's a writer's block. No, it's not a writer's block. It's intentional what they're doing with the bloodline story. They're trying to get it through to WrestleMania, to Royal Rumble. I think the bloodline story is just kind of taking like a little break. You know, they got to the red light and they kind of like just paused at the intersection. And then now, once WrestleMania season starts, once the gears start turning and start shifting towards it, I think the bloodline story will take center stage again. And we'll start to see the whole pick back up where Solo might turn, where Jimmy is going to get, exiled, where Jay is going to get his revenge, where Randy starts to look into how to get his revenge, where Drew McIntyre's getting his revenge. We'll start to see Cody Rhodes find his way back into the title picture with Roman Reigns. We're gonna ultimately get to the point where the bloodline will take center stage. They could even do AJ Styles into that mix as well. So ultimately, I do feel like the whole bloodline stuff is just cruising. It's kind of cruising right now. It's on cruise control, kind of just there. like just reminding you, like Paul Heyman is just there on a weekly basis to remind you that the bloodline is still a thing and it's still going on. But obviously it's not as good and as prominent as it was. Roman Reigns is not, you know, the big timer story right this second. But as soon as, boom, he comes back, it's like he never left. He never missed a beat. It'll get picked right back up where it left off. Taz coming back. He's a commentator in AEW. He's doing good over there. I'm okay with him being in AEW. I like to see the fresh faces. Look, if Taz is coming back to replace Kevin Patrick, do it right now. Kevin Patrick, the commentator from SmackDown, they moved him from Raw. Thank God. I couldn't stand 3 hours of Kevin Patrick. I'm sorry, bro. I don't want anyone fired. I don't want to be responsible for anyone getting fired, but Kevin Patrick is just, I don't like him at all, man. Is that okay? Like, I just really don't like him on the commentary team, like, at all. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. I don't even want to express myself so bad like that, but I just really don't like him. What's going to be the highlight of SmackDown? Well, Randy Orton is appearing on SmackDown this Friday from what I saw. Austin Aries, I guess that's a good name, but remember, Austin Aries got pissed off with the way he used him. I'm a college football fan, and they should fire Pat McAfee so he could come back to WWE. Yes! Gridiron! Yes! Pat McAfee, I miss him so much. Why did they have to give him a big contract and sign him on to the freaking college football shit, bro? Why, ESPN? You stole my heart. Please bring Pat McAfee back. Oh, man, we are missing him. We're missing Pat McAfee, man. Oh, no. He is so big. We need him back. Pat McAfee was amazing. Oh, Neville was good. Neville was good, but he was pissed off at WWE too. He wanted out of his contract. Remember, he didn't want to be there with he just didn't want to be there, guys. He didn't want to be there at all. Neville was just done. He didn't care. He wanted out immediately. They did a poll asking if people liked McAfee on the show, and most people voted no. Wait, on what show? Bring back Taz and put him on NXT. Bro, Booker T is awesome. I love Booker T on the commentary table. I think Booker T is awesome. The thing he got signed to... Oh, yeah. Okay, I got you. My friend hates Booker T on commentary? Really? Why? I guess he's not for everybody then? I thought Booker T was cool. Big Cass is another one that I wanted WWE to re-sign. Yeah, I agree. Big Cass is one that I wanted WWE to re-sign for sure. Heath Slater, I mean, he's working in TNA still, isn't he? He said Booker puts him to sleep. Damn, I love Booker T. Shucky, ducky, quack, quack. Bring in Umaga's son. I don't know. He's still kind of raw, right? He's still learning the ropes, and he already had issues with Booker T's school. Maybe he thought he was a lot bigger than what he really was. I don't know. Titus O'Neil's pretty cool. I like Titus O'Neil. I don't have any issues with him. Yeah, I love Booker T too. I think Booker T is super dope. Steve Richards. Steve Richards is doing his own YouTube. He's doing his own thing. I don't know where he works at in terms of behind the scenes right now. Justin Gabriel, where's he at? Does he still wrestle? I thought he was pretty much done. I thought Justin Gabriel was done. R-Truth on commentary would be hysterical. R-Truth is someone that they should never, ever, ever fire. He wrestles as PJ Black. Justin Gabriel still wrestles. Damn, I haven't heard about him in a long time. Let's go back to Punk. But why do you want to keep talking about CM Punk if you hated his return? Why are you so fascinated with hating on him? What is it that you want to talk about with CM Punk, my boy? Kazarni? Evan Bourne, I know he's gotten a little bigger. Isn't he in AEW? When was the last time R-Truth had a match? I haven't seen him in a while. NXT when he got injured. Paul Burchill? Paul Burchill that's the dude that was with AEW, right? It's about Punk. It's about everything. I think we've talked about Punk a whole lot. Pirate Paul Burchill. Oh man, you're Dog. You made me laugh so hard I had to go spit. Pirate Paul Burchill, Kazarni. I remember all these dudes. Oh my goodness. You're mentioning all these scrubs, dog. Oh my god, that is so funny. You want to talk about Fragile Phil? What do you want to talk about, man? Go ahead. Say what you want to say. What do you want to talk about? That you hate him? You're a Pirate Paul Burchill stan? Bro, I remember that era. They tried putting over those guys so bad. Paul London, I never really liked him. So funny, bro, that you're mentioning all these people from that era. That was so weird. Do you remember before he joined the Ascension that he called himself the Ratitude? Bro, I told you not to use that word anymore, dude. I told you not to use that word anymore. Billy Kidman. Where's he at? Isn't Billy Kidman doing like behind the scenes stuff? Or is he a trainer? Mordecai. Oh my god, you're mentioning all these people, bro. Too funny, bro. He's with AEW production. I figured. Yeah, those guys will always have jobs behind the scenes, you know. WWE fired him. Punk haters call him that. Doesn't matter, man. We're not hating on him. I thought you said you wanted to talk about him. You want to hate on him specifically. That's what you want to do, huh? That's what you want to do specifically. Hate on CM Punk. Wow, I just read online that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 players racked up the most hours per player for a new premium Call of Duty release during the holiday weekend since 2019. Wow. Well, folks, I think we covered everything there is to cover for the time being on CM Punk. I would like to say that I'll be back later streaming some more. I want to play some WWE 13 this week celebrating CM Punk, so maybe I'll bring some gameplay later to the channel, some wrestling gameplay. I do plan on streaming on my other channel. If you guys want to follow my other channel and you haven't already, do so we could get some gaming over there. All right, on the Plus channel. I'm putting the link in the chat box there for anyone that may be unaware. Had a blast covering the story of CM Punk. Had a blast sharing my thoughts and going back and forth with you guys. If you guys missed any of the segments, I uploaded them. There, it's up on the channel. We have several videos talking about CM Punk, talking about Bryan Danielson. Simplicity, I see you. I had a blast talking to all y'all. Let's go. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for the love, all the new subscribers. I'm glad that you guys had a blast too. We'll be back with more real soon. CM Punk is back.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said.